How's it going, everybody? I am trying to get this video out at a time in which I hope not a whole lot of people actually see it, to be honest. I really don't know how to go about this. I'm very much so a planning person. I like to write out everything that I say. I like to have a schedule. But for this, I'll just be honest, it's just way too difficult. It's way too difficult for me to sit here, and I'll be honest, I hate the fact that I'm sitting here right now. I hate the fact that I had to grab the camera, set it up, turn on the lights, rehearse as if I'm getting ready to go on broadcast, but it's instead for me to sit here and say that I guess I am kind of done with this. Retiring, whatever the word is. I don't like the word retire. I'll be honest. I really don't. It just kind of sounds weird. But I guess I'm taking a break or retiring again. I really don't know what word to describe. Maybe what's most accurate. But I'm not going to be renewing for this upcoming CDL season. I'll kind of get into that a little bit, but yeah, so I don't really know where to start. And for those that could be curious, this is my decision. I'll be honest, I have not checked my CDL/work email since like the last 2 weeks of the season from last year. So I don't know if I have been offered. I don't know what that looks like. Nobody outside of like some family knows that I'm even recording this right now. So I know that the game just came out. I haven't played the beta. I haven't watched any of it. I've watched some trailers and like on occasion, like some footage here and there, but I haven't played it at all. Cause I've kind of known for a little while that this is, what I want to do. I know for a fact this is really what I want to do. I know that it's time for me to step away. I know it's time for me to go on and do something different. This really does feel like it's probably the most difficult decision I've had to make in my life. I don't know if that maybe comes as a surprise to some people, or maybe it's not. Not that matters, but I don't know. It's weird to even think that I would be making this video, to even think that I'd be in this mindset right now of not preparing for the season. I mean, right now I'd be playing the game nonstop. I'd probably be playing it since it released. I'd be watching streams. I'd be taking notes. You know, this is always a really exciting part of the season, and I'm not doing that. But like I said, I've known for a while that this is it. I even came into champs from last season thinking in my head, like, you know what, this could be the last time. Like, I walked into Sunday being like, you know, this could be the final moment that I have. This could be, you know, whenever it was my last cast, this could be my last cast. This could be my last interaction with everybody, with the crew, in the green room, all that stuff. This could be the last time. And at that moment, I didn't know why that I felt that way. I didn't know why I felt so strongly that like this could be it. It was like, why? Like in my head, I was like, why in the world am I thinking this could be my last event? And obviously there's a reason for that. So let you guys know, like I said, I don't know what the season looks like. I don't have any idea. Again, this is my decision. I probably should have made this video like 2 months ago, to be honest, because I knew at that point that this is the direction I wanted to go. It's just hard. I'm not a very emotional person or outward emotional person. I hate making videos like this. I hate talking about the things that I'm talking about and we'll talk about. But I'm trying to get better at it. But I do not like recording stuff like this. The idea, like sort of setting everything up, is like a nightmare. But you know, here we are. So let me just talk quickly. I haven't recorded any. I have no script. I have nothing that I'm going off of. This is literally me just going for it, just turning it on and just seeing what happens. I'm going to try not to edit any of this out at all. But I do want to use this video, this opportunity, of course, to let you guys know what I said, but to also kind of talk about where I'm going, what I feel like the purpose of this video is, because I am recording this for a reason. I'm recording this kind of as a testimonial, if you will, in some ways, but essentially about, I don't know, 2014, late 2014, 2015, somewhere around there, is when I did start my commentary journey. It was through a bunch of different people that I managed to get to where I'm kind of finishing up. But yeah, I initially got an opportunity to cast some show matches. I managed after that to work on that night and day. In that moment, it was a very, very difficult season for me. Whenever I started commentating for the first time and actually started to do something with it. I think I've talked about this on occasion. If you follow me closely, you probably know this, but if you don't, which is most of you, I'm sure, it's fine. But I was supposed to go to college to play sports. Basketball was my thing, my entire life, my entire family, community around me thought that I was going to go play basketball. That was kind of like my thing. I was the basketball guy. Got into college, started getting into the time where, you've graduated, you're in that summer. Kind of feels very similar to where I am right now in the midst of a big decision. And I was like, okay, I know, that I want to do this. Apparently, it comes time for it. And it didn't feel right. I don't know. It didn't feel right. I was added onto a team that I was supposed to play for, the school that I was going to. And I honestly, I couldn't even tell you 100% what happened because I tried to forget it. So I don't really know 100% what exactly went down. But all I know is that I just didn't feel right about it. And so I stepped away, which was one of the worst parts of my life, stepping away from that, having to answer a lot of questions about why are you not doing this? What are you doing instead? And I had no idea. The only thing that I had going for me at the time was that I was starting to really discover Call of Duty. I was watching esports tournaments. I was getting in. I'd watched a little bit, but I'd started to get in toward Black Ops 2, much like a lot of people. Ghost, which was 2014, 2015 is, the year that I transitioned from high school to college. That was the year that I was like, this is cool. And all that I knew is that I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't know how, never I'd never worked a job at that point. So I didn't really know, how do I get into this? What's the step essentially, if you will, to jump into this thing, and started somehow, being able to commentate some local, I should say, online, smaller tournaments. And by doing that, by starting a Twitter account called MLG Roster Mania at the very start of Ghost, start of AW, things started to kind of cascade a little bit, to where I had to finally come up with a source of income. Because my parents were like, listen, you got to get a job. You got to do something. We can't, you're not playing sports. You're not doing anything. What are you doing essentially? And so I started that Twitter account. It started to blow up. And from there, that led into me kind of getting involved in the Sticks Live podcast with Kingdom Soldier and Hitch and all of them. And from there, a few things kind of boiled up, and I was given my first opportunity to commentate at a UMG event, UMG Dallas 2015. Right before that, I was also involved in the cast-off thing, tournament. I'd applied a few times. I actually applied so early that my initial trying to get in the first season didn't actually work, which is kind of funny. I actually totally forgot about that until just now. I submitted the day of, and it didn't go through, and I thought that I had, and I was trying to reach out to MLG support, and nobody knew what I was talking about. So I kind of got discouraged, did it the second season. I forget how far I made it, but again, kind of all of those things at once led into me getting an opportunity. UMG Dallas 2015, probably up until that point, the most nervous I've ever been about anything ever. Commentating, didn't really know what I was doing. Still barely do, but at the time, didn't really know what I was doing, and got the opportunity to cast on the main stage, which went horribly. I mean, it went well, but it went horribly. I think it was Courage who kind of held me by the hand the entire time. And I didn't think I would get invited back. I even was like trying to look for something to like take with me, like something UMG related. And I was like, maybe I can find some like token, some memorabilia piece or whatever to kind of take with me, because they're definitely not inviting me back. And then a few months later, I get an email saying that they want to have me back for another tournament. And that kind of went on up until the next title, Black Ops 3, where they ended up reaching out to me. They were based in St. Louis. Growing up, I grew up just outside of St. Louis, like 2 hours away. And so I decided to take that opportunity. I literally had nothing going on at the time. I don't know if they knew, like UMG knew that like this is kind of like my first job, like this is my first thing. And there's a lot of stories. There's a lot of craziness that happened at UMG, stuff that I won't touch on, but it was definitely like one of the biggest turning points of my life was getting that opportunity, which leads me into thanking everybody at UMG, which I know no longer exists anymore, but Jeff, the entire staff who brought me on, who put the trust in me initially to say like, you know what, we don't know what this kid's got, but we'll just see kind of what happens. And that led into a lot of stuff. I was at UMG for like 3.5 years. Was awesome. Some parts not, some parts were good. We turned a studio of 3 people into what later was one of the biggest online esports show match events ever, which is Friday Fortnite. Worked on tons of games, pretty much every game at the time under the sun, except for like League of Legends, because I still don't understand that game at all. But basically was commentating everything under the sun, everything that existed, Call of Duty included, but not as much as I would have liked. It was interesting. I started to learn a lot about myself. I started to learn a lot about, what it means to be a good co-caster, what it means to be a good commentator, a good leader. Learned a lot of what not to do, unfortunately, but that happens, I managed to work alongside 2 of some of my best friends, Matt and Taylor, who have been so instrumental in my life. They were going to be the best men at my wedding until COVID happened. But those guys know, I hope, how much they mean to me, how much they have impacted my career. Just 2 unbelievably talented guys who dealt with my antics, I think, a lot. Matt was the producer, also known as Goalie. I'm sure a lot of the community, at least some of the OGs, know of him, what he's done for pretty much every single side, whether it's the wiki or working on podcasts or working on in the background of a bunch of different stuff. He's one of the most talented people, I think, probably in the entire esports industry, broadcasting industry. And there's Taylor, Reflections. I know some of you CDO people will know of Reflections now, given that he's been on a bunch of the broadcasts and stuff. Warzone, absolutely killing it. He and I really started to connect really early on in our time there. He was in the Army at the time and had to leave, and then eventually came back. And I know I'm kind of going all over the place. I apologize. But again, those 2 guys just mean a lot to me. And I think one of the biggest achievements of my entire life is what we managed to do with a group of 3 guys who just knew that they loved esports, knew that they wanted to do it, knew that they wanted to succeed. And despite pretty much everything being against us, financially, even other staff members, all kinds of different stuff going on. Despite all of that, we still managed to make it incredibly successful and did one of the, I guess kind of one of the first ever celebrity or online personality tournaments, the Fortnite stuff, Friday Fortnite, we did that. And that kind of led into all kinds of different events that now I think are kind of mainstream. And so it was cool that we got to do that first. UMG eventually started to kind of change things up a little bit. I departed right when the CDL started. I ended up moving to Texas, where Hastro became a huge influence in my life. Worked for Envy, but right before they turned into Optic. Collectively worked in the office right up until COVID, so like a few months, and then COVID ended up happening. So I was working from home, trying to make this show that I really wanted to do. Still, even to this day, have a passion for that stuff, but kind of a talking head style show that was professional. And we didn't really get it to where we wanted. I'll be honest, that is one thing that kind of ticks me off looking back, is what I think that it could have been, despite a lot of things, obviously, the world totally changing in that moment. But yeah, and Hastro ended up helping me once the CDL opportunity came about. He ended up negotiating that for me, allowing for me to work at Envy and do the CDL at the same time. I don't know how in the world he managed to allow that or pull that off, but it just speaks to how awesome of a guy that he is. And that kind of led me to the CDL in 2020. Was given the opportunity. Had no idea what was going to come with that. I felt like I had a really good understanding of what it means to be a caster. And then within the first, I don't know, maybe 2 casts, I was like, I don't know anything. I don't know at all what I'm doing. I don't know at all how to work with a co-caster. I don't know how at all to be the lead play-by-play and how to bring in my analyst to the conversation. All of the stuff that I felt like I had mastered, but I really hadn't. I never really commentated in front of a crowd until our first CDL event. And what was that? Maybe, was that Champs? Like a Black Ops Cold War, maybe? I don't even remember, as you can see. But that kind of led me to where I am today. The CDL has kept me around. And that is kind of where we sit. Again, I know I kind of thank some people along the way, but I guess, and again, I know this is just totally out of order. I don't know how this sounds at all, but I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody, past and present, who has been at the CDL, who has worked with the CDL. First off, just thanking producers, Ethan, Spencer, John Fenton, Michael Mancini, just incredible people. No one really knows how hard that people behind the scenes work on stuff. I know we highlight it. I know as broadcasters or as casters, talent, whatever, we try to highlight it, but we'll never really be able to fully capture what they do, how important that they are to everything, and how, given certain circumstances, given a lot of the hurdles that they have to jump through, the way that they're able to pull off stuff despite that is crazy. They literally set everything up. They get everything prepared, and all we do is we show up. The lights are already on, our mics are already working, and we literally just talk. So again, just a huge thank you to them. Been very instrumental in my professional career. And obviously I would not have lasted had it not been for their leadership, for their guidance. I want to thank all the observers as well. Paradox is my guy. We've been together for a really, really long time. We both started at pretty much the exact same time. I hope that Q knows how much that he means to me. His friendship, just talking with him at events, has meant a lot. Still one of the most talented casters who never maybe people haven't seen cast before. I hope that Q maybe gives it a go again if he wants. But again, just want to point that out. Absolutely love that guy. And the entire observing team, I just know Paradox the most. But talent, guys, I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys know how much that you guys have meant to me. I know I've kind of been referred to a lot as like the guy who likes to do a lot of research. There's a reason for that. The reason why I like to try to do a lot of research is to do my very best just to try to keep up with the incredible talent team that we have. I think I'm far from talented at this. All the things that I feel like I'm good at are because I literally prepare like a lot. But just I know the talent is obviously the word that we use for everybody, but just the talent that we have is unbelievable. How incredibly skilled that everybody is insane. Allie, who I know is, been brought in on the last few years, if I was trying to do this at her age, not a chance in the world. I would be able to do what she has done. She's incredibly talented, so skilled. She can jump into basically any role, commentator, analyst, on stage work. She's just fantastic. I know Allie and I haven't got a chance to know each other a whole lot, but just very, very impressed and very much so respect how talented that she is. Nameless is is one of my my good buddies. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to exactly go about everybody and how to talk about everybody because I'm not going to be able to say exactly what I want. But Nameless has been a great friend, incredibly talented. People have no idea his mind for the game. I think they're starting to as time goes on, and I hope that he gets the tools to showcase just the knowledge that he has. An incredible player. And while he and I like to joke with each other a lot, just nothing but respect for him and know that his future, his career is going to be bright, especially if the sports betting stuff continues to work out the way that it does. Chance, he and I have been together for a really long time also. We've kind of been through the grind, working on Bravo. Same thing with Paradox, but we've been on the Bravo stations and lots of long hours and whatnot. I hope Chance knows how much that he has meant to me. Just his conversations, his kindness, just his nature is just hilarious. For those that have been around Chance or know him personally, he's a guy that likes to keep to himself, but again, just one of the best casters, one of the best analysts in esports history, in my opinion. Just super excited for the future of his career. Miles, wow. I don't even know what to say about Miles, just from a skill standpoint. I think he is, to me, the most gifted talker in esports, maybe esports history. Again, I haven't sat down and looked, but I mean, just incredible nature. He is the leader of the talent team, and I have never personally tried to take that leadership role away. I've never been somebody who's like, you know what, my goal is to try to get and take that spot that they've got. That's never been my mentality, personally, because I just have so much respect for Miles, for Chance. Just their duoship, the way that they work together is incredible. And Miles, I hope that you know that all the times you've come up to me and just said like, hey, that was awesome. I could have had what I felt like was the worst cast in the world, and if Miles comes up and just says, "Hey, man, you just smashed it," like it just filled me with all the confidence knowing that guy said that about me. Puckett, who I know obviously was added to the talent team this past year. I hope that he's a part forever. Honestly, Puckett has been instrumental in my career, no doubt. If it wasn't for him, I think what actually happened was that I had sent in a video that was way too long to the cast off, and he allowed for it to go through. He worked with me very early on in my career. Was probably the only person who actually showed me and gave me tips super early in my career. Just always an absolute pleasure to take the stage with what is regarded, of course, as one of the greatest talent in all of esports. Just nothing but positive to say about Puckett. An incredible professional, somebody who is a leader. And I just wish I could have spent more time, honestly, working with Chris. But again, just can't thank you enough, Puckett. I would not even be close to where I am. I would never have been able to reach the things that I really wanted to do had it not been for him, had it not been for what he has done. Even maybe stuff that he's forgotten or doesn't even know about, but just incredibly instrumental in my life. I'll just kind of go down the list. Merc and Maven, I mean, what can I say about those guys? I mean, the amount of laughs that they provided, some hard times for me this past year, just in my family, just with, yeah, we'll just put it that way. Just if you ever need a laugh, those guys are hilarious. Absolutely meant to be together. Been very, very helpful. I don't know Merc as well, but obviously one of the best analysts in esports. Has an incredible knack for the game. One of the best players, of course, ever as well. Clint, a lot of people don't know, whenever I first joined the CDL, he was always there to kind of help me with some stuff. I always was there to ask some questions. Just somebody who will always go out of his way to make sure that you're all good, make sure that you're taken care of. And obviously on screen, he is hilarious. Again, we'll just kind of leave it there. But again, just Merc and Maven, absolute phenomenal guys. And I just know they're going to be together for the rest of their lives. Whether or not Merc wants that, well, this remains to be seen. Bryce and Ton, two guys that I've known for a really long time, and I believe should have gotten their shot a lot earlier. Probably should have gotten their shot above me, to be honest. Regardless of that, though, just two guys who just have an unbelievable passion for this esport, for this game. Just incredible guys who, again, I feel like are just going to be together forever. They have some of the funniest conversations that will never be probably published or recorded, but they should be. I hope those guys at some point have like a podcast or do something to where they're involved, with their conversations. They're incredible guys. Again, I've always reached out, always been incredibly kind. Like I said, just an incredible passion. Bryce, has always been kind of a leader in all of the rooms that I've been in. Ton has been a super, super helpful friend to me on shows and in broadcasts that I've done and worked on. Ton was always somebody who was always willing to jump in. He and I were kind of in a very similar position years ago with our companies, trying to, get through the waters, trying to produce content, trying to do a bunch of different stuff. But again, just could not be happier for those guys to be part of the CDL. And again, I just hope that they are for years to come. For all the talent that maybe I haven't thought of, or I just really just wrote down some names on a sticky note, literally on my monitor. But for those that I'm maybe not thinking of, LVP, others, just know that, again, you meant more to me than you know. Lots of stories, lots of things that I'm going to remember for a really long time. And of course, the last one is Jay, is Study. That's my brother. That's my friend. I wish that I could have been able to do at least one thing, and that would be to have gotten him an award, because he deserves it. Study is he is the hardest working person that I've ever met. He has received so much scrutiny since he joined, since he's been on the team, scrutiny that has literally nothing to do with him at all. He has stepped into casting for the first time ever and has absolutely knocked it out of the park. He had never done it before and just jumped right in and absolutely killed it. Again, just the knowledge that he has, the love that he has for the game is inspirational. It really is. Like, I hope to one day have that same dedication to something that he does toward Call of Duty, toward esports. Whenever I was first partnered with him, I was hoping that we would have a connection. You always hope that with your commentating partner, and I feel like ours has gone way beyond the game. Have had children around the same time, related in a lot of ways. He's, of course, a guy from New York. I'm just a guy from the middle of nowhere, Midwest. And we managed to find connections. We managed to really grow as partners and to grow as a team. And again, I just wish I could have gotten him an esports award, an analyst of the year award, whatever that looks like, just to validate, I hope, to him just how talented that he is. I haven't texted him yet, probably going to right after I upload this video, or about to. But Jay, I hope you know, man, that just your friendship, I know is going to go beyond this is going to go beyond esports. It's going to go beyond Call of Duty. Just love you, love your family, and just really excited for whatever is up next for you. Whoever you're going to be commentating with next, I don't know, but whoever that is, you're going to get the most talented, the most skilled, and the most passionate guy that exists in this community. And it's going to be hard. That's probably the hardest thing for me, is to not be commentating with Jay, to not jump into calls, to not go over breakdowns of situations that we could have commentated better, to not be at tournaments, to not be in the green room blasting music, chatting with him, going to restaurants and watching sports and talking about the game with everybody and him. And that's going to be the hardest part. As much as I have loved this game, as much as I have loved doing what I do, the connections with people and the green room, the environment of just being with a bunch of like-minded individuals who all have the same goal, is something that I'm going to miss the most, and there's no question about it. So again, just the entire talent team, you guys are the most talented group of people that I've ever worked with that is in this entire industry. And I know for a fact that they're going to have an amazing, amazing season. And it's going to be hard. I'm definitely not going to be able to watch early on, of course, just a little raw, but I know they're going to do amazing. And I just can't wait to see the levels that they reach, because I know they're going to reach even higher. To all the players, it's been an honor telling your stories. I've made it my mission for the last 6-7 years to try to tell unique stories, stuff that people don't know, to try to get behind, what is the online face that a lot of us have, and to really try to get into the emotional side to figure out who these people are. What's their name other than their gamer tag? What are the things that they've gone through to get here? Are they from a different country? Do they have a different view of the game? What has led to their play style that maybe their life relates to? And so I've done my best to try and find those stories. Sometimes I'd spend hours just trying to find a little bit of information about somebody. That a lot of stuff didn't even make it to air, but I at least knew it, and that's what really mattered. So players, past, present, future, we have the greatest stories. We have the greatest and most interesting characters in all of esports, and that is what has made this game be successful for so long. It's what's made this esport successful for so long, and it's what is going to continue to make this esport successful for a very long time. Is the players, it's their passion, it's their hunger, it's their excitement to win. But it's also who they are as people that makes us so excited about the off season and the roster changes and all that stuff. So again, just thank you to all the players, fans, I'll say family, really, because I think it is more of that. I hope that I have been able to enlighten, educate, and entertain you all. I know that not everybody is a fan of my casting, and I understand it. And honestly, I kind of respect that, because I think, and I've always tried to take every bit of hateful commentary or hateful comments or constructive comments, whatever it is, not too much to heart, because I know it comes from a place of passion. I know it comes from a place of just the love for the game and the desire to want to see it be the best thing that it can be. So, again, if you have enjoyed it, that's great. If you haven't, I understand, and sorry that you didn't. But all the people who have followed this YouTube channel, followed me on social media, who have met up with me at events, who have spoke life into me at events, know that I'm always going to remember that. I am. I'm always going to remember that. Just the interactions always uplifted me. I could be in a spot where, again, I just felt like I had a horrible cast, or I didn't deliver something the right way, or I said something that, I feel like didn't land the right way. Just little things that we as commentators can really pick apart a lot. Every time that somebody would come up and say nice words, it just would uplift me in ways that you can't imagine, can't understand. So thank you to everybody, all the fans who have just been there through everything, past, present, people who probably are never going to watch this video regardless. Thank you. Just for the support, for the love, just means everything. And I really hope that for how much this game has meant to me, for what it's done for my life, for my family. I mean, it's literally provided me all kinds of things. I wouldn't have met my wife had I not had esports. I wouldn't have my daughter, who I have right now. Obviously, if it wasn't for esports, if it wasn't for this scene, I wouldn't have really much of anything if it wasn't for all of this stuff. And for somebody who just wanted to make an impact, for somebody who literally just wanted to hopefully inspire people the same way that I was inspired by the casters who were getting me through a very difficult time, the players and the gameplay and all that stuff that got me through a really difficult time. My goal, no matter what cast I was doing, if it was the top teams, if it was the optics and the phases, or if it was, the two worst teams in the league, I always tried my best to bring something interesting, to try to bring the energy into it, to try to make it feel as if it was a bigger match than maybe it even was. Because I just knew in the back of my mind that there was somebody watching it who really needed something, who really needed maybe just a bulk of positivity, who needed something to kind of take their mind off of things, the same way that I really needed it years prior to that. Again, there's so many more people that I could thank, so many more people that have impacted my life that I'm probably going to wish that I would have just added into the video, or how I didn't remember it, whatever that is. But to let you guys know, I kind of what's going on with me future. I know this video is really long, so I apologize. If you made it to this part of the video, you're awesome. But I don't blame people who haven't. But let you kind of know what's going on with me for the future. I have started working at my church. I just feel like right now I'm being called in a different direction. I know that I'm supposed to be doing this. I know that I was in esports, in Call of Duty for a reason, and maybe I will be in the future. I don't know. I really have no idea. But I'm just going to trust in God, because that is all that I'm supposed to do. I hope that, I know there have been people who've commented before about me being a Christian, and maybe some people who don't know that, but I am a Christian. So my bio has said Christ follower, and there's a reason why I have that listed first, because that is above everything. I'm stepping into a different position, a different type of role, but I've really, really enjoyed it. And I just feel like I'm impacting and being purpose-filled in the things that I'm doing. So I don't know what this YouTube channel or social medias or whatever is going to look like moving forward. It's probably just going to remain a little bit of the same, to where there's just really nothing going to be on it for a little while outside of this video. So if you want to follow that, you can feel free to always do that. I think there'll probably be stuff that comes about, of course, probably totally differently related. But again, I just thank you to everybody who's been on this incredible journey with me. Everybody who's been with me, supported me, to the entire esports, Call of Duty specific side of things. Just thank you guys so much for just giving me the honor of a lifetime to be able to do this. And again, I just can't thank you guys enough to how instrumental that you've been in my life. And again, I hope that I just had a little part in your life, to where I made it better, to where I made it entertaining, to where I taught you something that maybe you didn't know, and hopefully inspired you to maybe want to do something similar to me. But again, thank you guys for the love and the support, for reaching out. It just means a lot. And again, just super excited to see where the CDL, where Call of Duty grows, and where it goes to after this is over. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys again for checking out a video of mine, and I will see you guys all very soon. And love you guys a lot. Thanks so much for all the memories.